Good morning, beautiful. Hi, I'm Jordan James, and this is Good Deeds Buffalo. I want to thank the Hispanic Heritage Council of Western New York for sponsoring this episode and allowing me the opportunity to take the time to give back and highlight the good deeds of the city of good neighbors that often go unnoticed. On Good Deeds Buffalo, the Buffalo Western New York community will nominate someone for their good deed. This person is kind, loving, and puts everyone around them first. At random, I will select someone to showcase and thank. On the last episode of Good Deeds Buffalo, I sat down and interviewed Thaddeus Stevens to learn how his quest to feed Western New York families during the COVID-19 pandemic turned into a reality as he uniquely raised and donated over $30,000 to the Joseph Project Mobile Food Pantry since August 2020. I have good news to report. Since we filmed that episode, Thaddeus has raised an additional $10,000 and he is not slowing down. To learn more about Thaddeus Stevens and watch our interview online anytime, head over to gooddeedsbuffalo.tv. Now, on this episode of Good Deeds Buffalo, I will sit down and talk with Casimiro Rodriguez, the founder of the Hispanic Heritage Council of Western New York, to learn how his quest to preserve the Hispanic heritage locally turned into a reality 10 years ago, creating Western New York's Hispanic Heritage Council, with a mission to foster and inspire awareness, understanding, and appreciation of past, present, and future contributions the Hispanic community makes in Western New York. Casimiro was born and raised in Western New York, and he's lived a lifetime of advocacy for Buffalo's Latino community in different areas of education, health, social, and economic equality. He's earned a BA in American Government from the University of Buffalo, and he's also studied management from the General Motors Institute. After 34 years of dutiful service, he retired from GM. He is passionate for community progress and envisions what can be accomplished in the future of Buffalo's community built on the strengths of everyone working together for the benefit of all. Kaz is driven by social justice, where you can find the core of his dedication to today's community and tomorrow's leaders. He is a catalyst for revival and progress, bringing people of different faiths and races together for a common goal. Meet Kaz right after this message.
This edition of Good Deeds Buffalo was made possible thanks to the Hispanic Heritage Council of Western New York and some of their members that include these amazing Mexican restaurants. Taqueria Rancho Las Delicias, 1560 Niagara Street in Buffalo. Dine in, enjoy a drink at the bar, pick up lunch or dinner, or have your favorite dish delivered to you. Check out the hours and menu at taqueriaranchos.com or call 882-2800. There's more authentic Mexican food at Taqueria Rancho Dos at 445 Delaware Avenue in Buffalo that some say has the best Mexican bar in the 716 with daily Mexican food and drink specials. Go online for more at taqueriaranchosdowntown.com or call 844-8847. And in Tonawanda, check out Acapulco, serving delicious Mexican favorites with drink specials for everyone in the North Towns. Acapulco is at 707 Main Street, online at acapulcotonawanda.com. Call for more info at 525-1551. Thinking of dining out? Enjoy one or all of these authentic Mexican restaurants supporting hometown culture.
Joining me now in studio is Kaz Rodriguez. Kaz, thank you for coming on this show. And once we spoke, I know I had to meet you and learn more about what you are doing, everything that you are doing for the Hispanic community, but Western New York together as a whole. Now, what inspired you to start the Hispanic Heritage Council of Western New York?
Well, first and foremost, Jordan, thank you very much for having me here on Good Deeds Buffalo. Amazing show, and I really appreciate this opportunity. What inspired me? It's been a journey for the last 10 years. We just celebrated our 10th year anniversary.
Wow.
But it all began in 2009 when I was asked by the deputy county executive back then, a very good friend of mine, Alfred Al Hammond, which I worked with at General Motors,
oh, wow.
believe it or not, in management. And he asked me if I would be willing to be part of the Erie County Cultural Resource Board.
Okay.
And the Erie County Cultural Resource Board is a board that's made up of community leaders from different sectors that interview, and they read, they read the proposals that are submitted by the Erie County cultural groups,
Okay.
and art, theater, and what have you. And just to give you an example, organizations like the Art Gallery, the History Museum, the Buffalo Philharmonic, Buffalo Zoo, what have you. And these folks submit their proposals for funding. And, you know, I was able to read a lot of the proposals and interview the folks, the executive director, the finance person, what have you, the folks that came in front of that board. And I got to know a lot about what the cultural organizations do in Western New York, specifically in Erie County. And in the conversation, in the interview, you know, I pretty much asked a lot of the groups, how does the Hispanic community fit in to their vision and their mission and their programming specifically, you know, and not a criticism, okay, but it was very little programming.
Understood.
And what have you. And after that experience, and I got to know a lot of these folks very well, in a way that, you know, we develop a relationship. And that's where the idea came out to form the Hispanic Heritage Council. 2010, we knew we needed some type of significant event. And we picked Hispanic Heritage Month. And what I did is I reached out to the Buffalo and Erie County Public Library, where our offices are located today.
Oh, wonderful.
And back then, the executive director was Stanton Hudson.
Okay.
Ann Conable was the community liaison, what have you. And I reached out to them for a meeting. And we knew that we needed a location to launch Hispanic Heritage Month in 2010, which was the first official launch of Hispanic Heritage Month. And I met with Stanton and Ann to ask them if we can use the facilities, the Ring of Knowledge, to officially kick off Hispanic Heritage Month in 2010. Wow. And they accepted. As a matter of fact, they said there's no better place to do such a memorial or great event for the community like the library. So we began planning. I reached out to community leaders.
So before this, did you have experience in the community? Were you working in the community prior, before you took this on?
Well, believe it or not, Jordan, I've been involved with the community close to half a century, ever since I was in high school.
Yeah.
You know,
so for quite a while.
You know, I attended Grover Cleveland High School.
Oh, wow.
Right in the heart of our community. Was part of the bilingual program there. I was part of the organization there. And from there, I went to the university to get my bachelor's. Yeah. And I've always been involved with the community ever since.
Yeah. And so you really have been part of the Buffalo community for a while, but then you've seen a need to really bring the Hispanic Heritage Council to create that program. Now, that is just a wonderful thing to do, to see a need. And like when we spoke previously, I told you I really resonated with your story because you didn't want the Hispanic community to be forgotten about here or abroad, and you made sure to bring it to the forefront. Now, what does having a Hispanic Heritage Council mean to you, you know, being the founder of this organization? Well,
it needs to go back to the mission, you know, and our mission is to short of promoting Hispanic heritage, history, and culture.
Yes.
So, like I said, in 2010, we had our first launch. 2011, we incorporated as a 501c3 organization. Oh, wow. Okay, in 2012, we launched the Hispanic History Project.
Oh, wow.
Which is a documentation of the history of Hispanics here in Western New York, dating back to the late 1800s to the present.
Oh, wow.
And that was a very nice initiative and learning experience that we collaborated with the Buffalo History Museum.
Oh, wonderful.
And the Buffalo and Erie County Library to put together the history or some of the history
of the Hispanic community here
That's
in
right,
Buffalo.
and that's ongoing. That's ongoing.
Now, we mentioned, some events that they highlighted for years now, but what are some of the events that you've held as Hispanic Heritage Council of Western New York?
Well,
what are some of your favorite events?
Well, some of the highlights is, let's say, Cinco de Mayo celebration.
Yes, wonderful.
Hispanic Heritage Month is a long month of events and activities in which we collaborate with the arts and cultural partners.
Yeah.
And we hold events and activities at their sites and what have you to promote our heritage and our history with their constituency along with our own community.
Yeah.
So that's a big month. The events that we have throughout the entire year, the Day of the Child, where we honor our children. Not only in the schools, but in the community, promoting literacy, nutrition, health, and character.
Yeah.
That's a big event. And also, through this journey, we've been able to call upon government, the city council, to designate the Niagara Street Corridor Hispanic Heritage District. We've been involved with the naming of the Niagara Branch Library the Isaias Gonzalez Library, which that gentleman was a pioneer in our community that was very instrumental in bilingual education. The naming of the auditorium at the Herman Badillo Bilingual Academy to one of our prominent leaders in the community, Dr. David Caban. So there's events
You
like
had mentioned some resources that your organization offers, but can you tell me a few resources that you do offer as Hispanic Heritage Council?
Well, first and foremost, our exhibit that articulates in exhibit form the history of our community, the timeline of people, events, activities that pretty much shaped our community.
Absolutely.
The events that I mentioned throughout the entire year. We're a resource to the Buffalo Public Schools. Matter of fact, right now we're working with the Buffalo Public Schools to develop a curriculum on Hispanic and Puerto Rican history, which if all goes well and it's going to be launched in the next calendar school year.
No,
that's that's a big project. And we're available to the community at large, to the organizations, not only locally in Buffalo, but throughout Erie County, where we go and speak about our history, our heritage, and our culture.
And you want to share that with the Buffalo Western New York community. And I know you mentioned before, I know it's Hispanic Heritage Council of Western New York, but you are really trying to share the Hispanic heritage with Western New York. And you would love for them to embrace and try to learn about the wonderful heritage you have. And I heard that now you're offering a scholarship, the Ralph R. Hernandez Bilingual Education Scholarship. Can you tell me about that a little bit?
Well, Ralph R. Hernandez was a Buffalo School Board president.
Oh, okay.
Elected to that position. He was a member of the school board, and he's since retired from that position. And we thought along the way that one of the things we would like to offer the community and our future leaders of our community, if they're thinking of going to college, we'd like to offer them a scholarship, which is sponsored by the First Niagara Foundation.
Oh, wonderful!
And it's an endowment in the community foundation. They hold the funds, and every year we award a college-bound student that's graduated from high school a scholarship. And there's criteria that they need to meet and so forth. And all that information, you can find it on our website.
Awesome. Now, I really like that idea for the bilingual educational scholarship. I personally would love to learn some Spanish, so I think that's something I might look into. Now, can you tell us a little bit about the Hispanic Heritage District?
Well, the Hispanic Heritage District, that's the Niagara Street Corridor. As you know, the Niagara Street Corridor is the gateway to America from Canada and the gateway to Canada.
One of the beautiful things we have right here bordering Canada.
That's right. And it's right in the heart of our Hispanic community where a large population of Hispanics live, and throughout the entire corridor, which the boundaries are Elmwood Avenue to Porter Avenue, you can see art, murals. You have parapets of landmarks that illustrate some of the history of our community. We have a timeline at each end of those boundaries, those corners, that pretty much illustrate what shaped our community.
Awesome.
You have Buffalo Square right in the corner of Niagara and Virginia, where you have nice 4 buffaloes that are representative to our proud.
Yeah, and I actually seen recently on Facebook, you were down there cleaning up near the buffaloes, and they're such a wonderful attraction to see those buffaloes. Now, during your time as president of the Hispanic Heritage Council of Western New York, you announced a $10 million institute to come to Niagara Street. What excites you most about this project?
Well, first and foremost, that project is going to be the epitome of our organization and our community. It's the Hispanic Heritage Cultural Institute. Our capital campaign chairman, Manny Lezama, is spearheading, raising the $10 million.
So Manny Lezama will be leading this new project?
He'll be leading the capital campaign.
Awesome, wow.
And it's going to be a 33,000 square facility. It's going to have a museum where we're going to be able to preserve a lot of the artifacts, a lot of the pictures, a lot of the documentation that we've been able to collect
throughout the years
about the history of our community. And it's going to have an art gallery. It's going to have a theater.
Ooh, a theater.
For on-site plays and what have you. It's going to have an activities hall. And most important, there's going to be some learning labs there for the children.
That is wonderful.
Through experiential learning and culturally sensitive education and subject matter dealing with history, heritage, and culture that our children can learn. And a media center.
Oh, wow.
Focused on radio and TV. We hope to, once we inaugurate the location, which is going to hopefully be in 2024 timeframe, that we're able to secure a frequency for radio to be able to educate, communicate, and inform our community, because today we do not have a radio station.
How can our viewers watching help you and the Hispanic Heritage Council of Western New York?
Well, they can go to our website, HispanicHeritageWNY.org. As it relates to the Institute, we have our own website for the Cultural Institute, which is hhcinstitute.org. All the information, it's user-friendly. Both websites are user-friendly. Lots of information. They can go there. They can get involved. They know more about us. And also, if they like to donate, there's links to do that as well.
We'll be back to wrap up our show after this message.
This edition of Good Deeds Buffalo was made possible thanks to the Hispanic Heritage Council of Western New York and some of their members that include these amazing Mexican restaurants. Taqueria Rancho Las Delicias, 1516 Niagara Street in Buffalo. Dine in, enjoy a drink at the bar, pick up lunch or dinner, or have your favorite dish delivered to you. Check out the hours and menu at taqueriaranchos.com or call 882-2800. There's more authentic Mexican food at Taqueria Rancho Dos at 445 Delaware Avenue in Buffalo that some say has the best Mexican bar in the 716 with daily Mexican food and drink specials. Go online for more at taqueriaranchosdowntown.com or call 844-8847. And in Tonawanda, check out Acapulco, serving delicious Mexican favorites with drink specials for everyone in the North Towns. Acapulco is at 707 Main Street, online at acapulcotonawanda.com. Call for more info at 525-1551. Thinking of dining out? Enjoy one or all of these authentic Mexican restaurants supporting hometown culture.
Mi tierra bella, de mi tierra santa, se oye el sonido de los tambores y los timbales a cumbachear. Y ese pregón que canta un hermano de su tierra vive lejano, que recuerdo le hace llorar. Una canción que vive entonando de su sudor, de su propio canto, y se le escucha penar. La tierra te duele, la tierra te da en medio del alma cuando tú no estás. La tierra te empuja de raíz y cae, la tierra suspira si no te ve más. La tierra donde naciste no la puedes olvidar, porque tiene sus raíces y lo que dejas atrás. La tierra te duele, la tierra te da en medio del alma cuando tú no estás. Siguen los pregones, la melancolía, y cada noche junto a la luna sigue el guajiro entonando el sol. Y cada calle que va a mi pueblo tiene un quejido, tiene un lamento, tiene nostalgia sobre su voz. Esa canción que vive entonando, corre la sangre, sigue llegando con más fuerza el corazón. La tierra te duele, la tierra te da en medio del alma cuando tú no estás. La tierra te empuja de raíz y cae, la tierra suspira si no te ve más. Tiene un quejido, tiene un lamento, nunca lo olvido. Llevo en mis sentimientos, sí señor, oiga ese grito. Vive recuerdo, corre mi sangre, lo llevo por dentro como un canto de mi tierra bella y santa. Sufre ese dolor que hay en su alma, aunque esté lejos yo la quiero, y un día regreso yo lo sé. La melancolía, cada noche junto a la luna sigue el guajiro entonando el sol. Cada calle que va a mi pueblo tiene un quejido, tiene un lamento, la nostalgia de su voz le lleva con fuerza el corazón. La tierra te duele, la tierra te da en medio del alma cuando tú no estás. La tierra te empuja de raíz y cae, la tierra suspira si no te ve más.
Welcome back to Good Deeds Buffalo. I'm your host, Jordan James. We are here with my guest, Casimiro Rodriguez, with the Hispanic Heritage Council of Western New York, to learn how his quest to preserve the Hispanic heritage locally turned into a reality 10 years ago, creating Western New York's Hispanic Heritage Council. I really enjoy being able to do the next part of my show the most. I reached out to my friend Jessie from West Seneca, who is a 200-hour certified yoga teacher focusing on restorative and gentle yoga, and she donated a relaxation session for you and 4 friends. She'll focus on simple and gentle movements to create space in your body while she connects with your breaths, while she quiets your mind. Now,
Thank you.
I also reached, you are so welcome, Kaz. I reached out to my friend Mary, who owns the Totally Buffalo store, and she'd also like to give you a $50 gift card to their store.
That's great. I want to go to Totally Buffalo. Now I have a good reason too.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You are
Thank you
so
very
welcome.
much.
Do you know someone you would like me to nominate for their good deed on Good Deeds Buffalo? Someone you would say is kind, loving, and puts everyone around them first? Head over to gooddeedsbuffalo.tv and fill out the quick and easy nomination form. If selected, we'll reach out to you for more information. Now, thank you so much for coming on the show, Kaz, and I look forward to seeing what we can accomplish together. You can learn how to help Casimiro Rodriguez and the Hispanic Heritage Council of Western New York online at gooddeedsbuffalo.tv. I want to thank our sponsors, the Hispanic Heritage Council of Western New York.
And I would also like to take this opportunity to thank our underwriters for the show today. Taqueria Rancho Las Delicias on Niagara Street, Rancho Dos on Delaware, and also Acapulco. All restaurants here in Western New York, and I'd like to thank them for
Yes.
underwriting this program.
Yes, thank you so much. And I also want to thank Yoga with Jesse, the Totally Buffalo store, and the wonderful WBBZ TV. Until next time, I'm Jordan James, and this is Good Deeds Buffalo. Thanks for watching. Remember, hate is in the moment, love is forever.